Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. It's your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. This is a timepiece of extraordinary qualities, featuring fluid inboard, a unique fluidic display system, and a remarkable lugless case. This is a model launched in 2017, the HYT H0. Black DLC on stainless steel with a sapphire case top. The watch is unconventionally shaped and very wearable. 48.8 millimeters in diameter, but don't let the size scare you, as because it is lugless, it is also 48.8 millimeters from lug to lug across the wrist. 18.8 millimeters thick, and the timepiece is very solid in construction, while sitting handsomely, if a bit proud, of the wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, and as I've worn one of these the last few days, I found it will actually slide underneath my cuff, which is surprising. Maybe it shouldn't be, because the edge of the case is very smooth and rounded. As you can see, there's plenty of clearance on each side of that 16 centimeter circumference wrist, including from overhead. You can see just how much clearance I have. The strap is of very high quality and proprietary. It's natural vulcanized rubber with a dimple pattern on the top to add a little bit of surface tension. It tapers handsomely as it approaches the case, and as you can see, it is quite thick to avoid tearing or premature degradation. There's a lot of material here, and as you can see, it is a brand new HYT factory strap. The watch uses screws that fix the strap in place, so no spring bars here. It's a very secure connection, and you can see the attention to detail is great, as even the screws fixing the strap on the underside have been blackened. The timepiece does include a titanium black DLC coated deployment clasp twin trigger release. There's a push button slider inside that gives you a couple of incremental sizing options, so you have that micro adjustment built into the clasp natively. It's a wonderful, thoughtful refinement for fine fit. Taking a quick look at the case, you can see it's mostly sapphire, and sapphire being second only to diamond in hardness, it is harder than ceramic. It ensures that this watch is probably never going to accumulate a scratch, as everything that would otherwise intrude on the DLC of the case is going to be blocked by the sapphire up top. The crown is beautifully detailed. As you can see, it features outboard a polished and media blasted set of surfaces, the H, the circle, and of course the media blasted base, with a shoulder in slash-cut knurled ceramic, so it feels like a pleasure to grip. And you can see that the case is mostly satin finish top and bottom, but there is a little polished black lip that rings the sapphire, so there's some contrast in the finish of the metal too. As you can see outboard, there are numerals that allow you to read the time if you wish in 24-hour format. Conventionally, the watch is designed to be read in 12-hour format. Now you can see, and I'm going to do my best to capture this in the light, but you have your hour, you have your minutes, you have your seconds. The hour is represented by two immiscible liquids. There are two bellows that move up and down. They're driven by cams propelled by a conventional Swiss lever movement, but as they trade places and displacement changes, the black fluid, which is water-based, runs around the dial inside a borosilicate capillary tube. There's 1/2 of a milliliter of fluid in the watch. The other half, which, as you can see, is actually clear. It looks orange, but the underlay beneath the tube is orange. So the clear liquid is actually made of oil, so they're immiscible, and the meniscus between them, the division point, actually indicates the hour. So you can see right now, we will set the time here. Pull the crown out. You can see this would be 5:30. Now we're going to roll past 6 o'clock, and you can see how it continues 6, 7, 8 up the opposite side. When you roll past 6 o'clock, it retrogrades back to the beginning, so it's both a regulator and a retrograde. You've got a push-down crown, 30 meters of water resistance, so the watch is sporty, but it's not an aquatic timepiece. There is a power reserve indicator up at 2:30 that shows you how much of the 65-hour manual wind power reserve is intact, and it transitions from black to orange as you wind it up, and it's a pleasure to wind with a nice refined click. As you can see, the dial is all blackened like the case itself. Roll it over and you can see that the movement is absolutely spectacular. Now, there have been a couple of versions of the H0 over the years, and not all of them are quite this elaborate. This is the caliber 501, 41 joules, manual wind, 4 hertz beat rate, and as you can see, everything has been brought out to make it more apparent. Let me show you a previous version. This is a previous version of the 101 movement. You can see not as much is evident here, whereas this version of the architecture, which is a successor design in the caliber 501, makes the movement appear far deeper with a very elaborate structure atop the balance, and the movement handsomely decorated, features a sort of media blasted surfacing with black polished screws for contrast, with the bellows themselves extensively hand finished with a lovely shimmering shine. And you can see that Edicron is used for regulation, which means that it is potentially very precise. Edicron allows for a very precise and exacting regulation. And of course the timepiece is handsome, but the action really is on the dial side. An unusual and becoming watch that fits on any wrist and packs technology not seen in any other watch in any other time period from any other manufacturer. It is truly unique. And if you wonder about temperature, they tell me that although the watch does have temperature limits for its operation, it also cannot reach those temperature extremes when the watch is on the wrist, as in the hot weather the wrist will cool, and in cold weather the wrist will effectively warm the watch. This is the HYT H0 Black DLC and Sapphire. Reach out to tmosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And we're back with the HYT H0, and you can see not only is it fully loomed on all three dials, hours, minutes, and seconds, but the fluidic display is gorgeously backlit.